Thank you for tuning in to the TNB Fans Only Show. Share your experience, give your opinion, allow your voice to be heard. If you want to be on the podcast or become a content creator, visit thenudeblog.com/apply. Before we get started, this show contains adult language. Now, let's get on to the show.
This call is now being recorded.
Introduce yourself for the people.
All right. I am Tevin. I'm 21 and in Tallahassee, Florida. I'm in school. This is my 4th year.
Oh, you're getting there, then. You're close to the finish line.
Yep. I have 2 more years, and I'll graduate with my doctorate in pharmacy.
What made you want to go the pharmacy route?
I've always had a thing for like medicine and helping people and all that other kind of stuff. And I know in high school I did what we have like a magnet program called like the Health Academy, where you can explore other options like nursing or EMT or whatever. But they didn't have pharmacy. But so I went into what's called allied health, which is like a kind of a broad spectrum health field kind of thing. And we got to like a pharmacy portion in our notebook in our textbooks, and I really just liked it. And I know personally I can't deal with like first responders. I can't deal with like a car accident or something like that. Like someone having a heart attack. I can't be a paramedic. I can't deal with the trauma, and I can't do it personally. So I figured, okay, I can stay in medicine to help people, and so I'll go pharmacy, which actually was my grandmother's idea before she passed away. She told me to look into pharmacy, and that's where I'm at now.
Have you done any like internships or anything like that for it?
I did one I haven't done one recently. I did one in high school. I job shadowed a pharmacy, a local pharmacy near my high school. And I got to work there. I got to fill prescriptions and restock the shelves and all that kind of stuff. And then I got to deal with people one-on-one, and, most of them were okay. You always have those few who are a little more aggressive, I guess you could say, than others. But overall, it was a good experience. And I think that's actually what helped solidify me wanting to stay in pharmacy.
Good luck to you. You got 2 more years to go, so, I'll be rooting for you to go ahead and finish up, so that way I can know some people in high places, you know what I mean?
Appreciate it. And I got you. I'll be a legal drug dealer one day. Legal drug dealer. Legal.
Be pushing them pills. Actually, it won't be that long. You'll be selling cannabis and stuff too.
Yeah. I know. I think. Yeah. I wanted. I was considering going to Colorado and working in Colorado as a pharmacist, but I don't know. It'll eventually spread to other states, so I'll figure it out when I get a little older.
Do you actually smoke?
Yeah. Yeah. I do edibles and all that.
Oh, so you know all about the goodies and you got the edibles and
see, not all. I just know that the little portion I'm involved in, and I honestly didn't get involved with it until 2 years ago. And even then, it was like few and far between. Like I think I started off with edibles, and it was maybe like once a month I would eat one. And then last year, when I moved in with some of my friends, they smoked more than I did, but I kind of caught on and started smoking more. And there was less edibles and more smoking, and I still can't roll a blunt.
Peer pressure, huh?
Yeah. But I mean, I can always, I don't know how to roll a blunt, so I don't really smoke unless I'm with someone who can roll a blunt. So that kind of helps me from smoking too much.
So when you eat edibles, like, how long do it take to kick in?
I think the fastest it's happened was like 45 minutes.
Oh, so it takes a little bit. So you'll eat an edible and be walking around, and next thing you know, it just hits you, huh?
Yeah, because I know sometimes whenever I go buy them, I'll eat it when I'm still on my way home. So by the time I get home, it's starting to kick in. Excuse me, it's starting to kick in, and I'm good. But I think the longest it's taken maybe an hour and a half, I want to say.
Mhm.
And I made the mistake. The first time that happened, I made the mistake of eating more of it, thinking it wasn't working. And I was on a trip. Ever
I got
again.
you. Huh?
Yeah, that's why I stay away from edibles, because you never know with edibles.
That's cool. That's cool. No, recently, I was online and I saw this video, of Sway Lee. You know who Sway Lee is?
Yeah. Yeah, the rapper?
Yeah. Yeah. So he was on Instagram Live apparently, and he was showing off his tattoos, and he just so happened to lower the camera a little too low on accident. That's what he says.
It wasn't an
And,
accident. I saw that video. It was not an accident.
you saw the video?
Yeah, it stayed at that angle way too long to be an accident.
That's what I thought too. So like cause like he was moving the camera down and it was
Right.
going so slow. It's like no way on earth you don't see it
Right.
being too low.
And especially like if you know you don't have clothes on or whatever, and you taking a video of yourself, your screen is but so big. So you're gonna see if you go too low.
Right.
And like for me personally, when I take videos of stuff, I rewatch them before I post it. But he was live, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was live.
Oh, okay, well. But yeah, he said they're way too long for that to be an accident. There's
Yeah,
just no
no.
way.
I thought the exact same thing, and just the fact that he had already been sending out like these thirst trappy type dick print
Right.
pictures and stuff.
Right, yeah.
And so for him to be doing that beforehand, now all of a sudden you actually showing your dick is like, this is no way that all of this
Right,
is
right.
just a coincidence.
Now had he like jerked his phone back up, I could have, okay, oh yeah, it's an accident. But it was like a gradual pan down, a gradual pan back up. So there's no way. There's no way. I don't know. But I'm not surprised that he did it, like you said, because he's been posting all these other thirst trap like things. So, it's not
Yeah,
surprising. It was bound to
that's
happen, in
crazy.
my personal opinion.
Yeah. And then like, so now people are like posting like pictures and video all over the internet, which I guess is what he wanted because there's no way on earth he didn't expect that to happen.
Right.
And then people were like talking about like, when I go on like Twitter, people are talking about like how small he is or how little it is.
I disagree. I didn't think it was that small.
No, I was saying the same thing. Now, it's kind of hard to tell because of the angle he's going top down.
Right.
But it's definitely hanging for whatever degree, and everybody's don't hang.
Right. So, I
So
mean,
I was thinking he was at least average, but definitely not small.
right. Because there's no way, at least in my experience, that you hang if you're, below average.
Right.
I mean, you can if you're just heavy, but like, you usually don't see it happen. So, but I mean, look, each
Now,
their own. You never know
no,
unless
because I
you were
was
there in
thinking,
person, I guess.
but well, I was saying that too, but also like a lot of people do get hard, but their dick don't like stand straight out.
Right.
But from my experience, like straight people are very self-conscious about their penis, like more than I would say normal.
That's
And
very
so
true.
like, because I think like straight people, even though they like, they like females, for example, they'll compare titties and they'll compare ass. Guys will too, but they don't want other people to think they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And
I think a lot
but
of
when
straight
they
guys are
do,
very
they don't
self-conscious.
right. But when they do, they don't compare soft.
Right.
So it was like,
But,
like you said, like I don't think he would have done it if he was, unless you just a shower. You're not gonna
right.
show off your soft dick.
So either
So
I was thinking he was either semi or he was hard. I do know a
right.
lot of people, they'll get like semi hard and be like, oh, my dick is soft. Like, no, nigga, there's a vein going down the middle of your dick. That's not,
Like I can
you
see that. It's not
right.
there's blood flowing through there. No.
Like, that's not how the anatomy works here. Like,
right. That's funny.
no, but I know like a lot of celebrities, they'll kind of do stuff like that when a new album or something is about to come out. So I don't know if
right.
he's just trying to get attention or what.
I feel like it might be more for attention. In my personal opinion, I think it's more for attention because no one was really talking about him. I didn't really know too much about him. I don't think I know any of his songs or anything. So so with that, now that that's happened, I end up looking more into it. I found some more songs. I just listened to a few or whatever. But before that, I would never have done that. So I just didn't care about him.
Now, he's in a group with his brother, and they actually make some pretty. I like their music a little bit, but you would think they were teenagers, not just by their appearance, because I think Sway, he's like 5'8", 135 pounds, and so if they say he's 5'8" online, that means he's really 5'7" because everybody add an inch. You know what I mean? And so like. He's a little person, and so there was a lot of people I think a lot of people was turned off by the picture just because it looks like he's 12 years old or something, like, because he doesn't really have any body definition or.
Yeah, he looks young, and he looks, in my personal opinion, he has a girls or females like frame, like a young girl's like frame to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I was seeing some of the things and people saying like, oh, he looks like he's 12. Why would somebody post this? People who don't know who he is think he's a kid. And I was like, he's not. He's like 23. He's a grown. He's an adult. So he just happens to look like a kid.
Right. And sound like one too, because the music that him and his brother produce is more like that teenage rapper type deal. Like when you think of rap, you more think of something a little bit more hard, a little bit more edgy, and like the rap that they do is rainbows and sunflowers.
It kind of reminds me of what's his name? Little Uzi Vert and his raps. They're kind of poppy, like a pop music style versus like rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what genre they're trying to fit into, whether they're trying to make their own new genre or extension of rap or a mix of rap and hip hop. I don't know.
No, you're right. It is closer to like pop music than it actually is to rap.
Right.
And like I said, I mean, for the most part, they have a little beat to it. Like sometimes, like he did a song like with the roly roly and the poly poly, and like sometimes it's repetitive. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah. The Dapper Ranch and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Dapper Ranch.
That's what it says, a Dapper Ranch.
No, you're right. And like it took me a while to figure out like how he got from Rollies to Dapper Ranch.
I still don't really know what it means. Is it like diamonds or something? I don't know.
I don't know either. But nah, that's cool. It seemed like everybody is coming out with like their own news and stuff like that lately. And like when I get online, especially like they just recently like closed down Tumblr, which is sort of sad because like a lot of these people with like Fan Pal and Connect Only pages, like they literally like made their own like adult websites and stuff and charging people like monthly fees in order to get on it. And I just think it's in a lot of ways it's kind of crazy that like so many people can go and like make their own like paid site with nudes and like sex and stuff like that. But if you really think about it, also talk about the demand. Like what type of demand do it have that's just like an average Joe could just go out there and just take pictures and videos of them getting in the shower or just doing whatever that they do, and people will actually pay money and subscribe to it.
Right. And it's kind of, I mean, I can see why people do it because there are people out there who will pay for that. And it's like, I personally wouldn't.
Right.
There's other websites for that. You can just go on like Pornhub or Xvideos or somewhere else and do that.
Right.
But I mean, if that's one of the ways they want to make money, feel free. I've seen some new, like, it was kind of like a blog style almost website pop up. Like I saw it like on the 16th, right before Tumblr like shut everything down. It popped up like, oh, follow me on this, add me on this. Like it's free for for previews. You got to pay like $10, I think. for like full videos. And I was like, that's stupid to me.
Right.
But make your money how you want to make your money. Do you? I'm not going to knock you down. I'm not going to judge you because I don't care. It's just not something I would do.
Well, it also just kind of show you like the difference it is between like being in 2018, 2019, as opposed to like even 10 years ago, where like if your nudes hit online 10 years ago, like the world's going to end. Like nowadays, it's just everybody do nudes. In fact, I
Right.
read an
Now people leak
article,
them on
I think
purpose.
yeah, like not only do they leak them on purpose, like especially like celebrities and stuff like that, just like get attention, but you know, they say about 70% of people have like nude or naked pictures of themselves in their phone. Not to say that 70% send them out, but I'm pretty sure a pretty high portion of those people send them out. But a lot of people do just get in the mirror, you know, after they took a shower or bath or whatever, and just like take pictures of themselves. And some people just keep them for themselves, and some people, you know, like to share. And it's like it's not like it was 10 or 20 years ago where like that was just like completely taboo.
Right. Because yeah, I know. I know it was a thing like 10 years ago. Like people were shunned and judged and put down for doing stuff called hoes and all that kind of stuff for that. But now it's like not. I've heard it called like what hoe culture, where it's just a thing people do now. So it doesn't make you quote unquote a hoe. You just it's almost in a way kind of like a different form of like being a sex worker, but online, if that makes sense.
Right. No,
So.
it totally is. But I personally, like, for me, like, I can see positives in it. I mean, just about, like, you, not only are you producing these pictures or images or whatever, but then also, like, think of the skills that it take. Like, you have to be able to market yourself. You have to be able to come up with ideas. You might have to write out scripts. Like, it actually takes a little bit of brain power. It's not like any and everybody has that, you know, that mental.
Right, because if it's boring and not entertaining, or you don't post enough, you're not going to get people to follow you and subscribe to you. So so you really have to have some, I would say, talent to it and some art. It's an art form, if you will. And if you're not good at the art form, you're not going to succeed in it.
That's right. So how were you when you first started sending out nudes?
Ooh. I think either 15 or 16, I think. Yeah, I was in high school. I know people who started early, like middle school, but I was more shy, I guess, and conservative and a little, I guess I wasn't confident enough in my body, I suppose. Because growing up, I was quote unquote, I was a fat kid. No shame, I was a fat kid. So they didn't start dropping off until about I was 15, 16. And I think around that time I was like, oh, okay, you know. And then people kept boosting my ego, talking about, oh, you cute, you should do this, you should do that. I said, okay, cool. I can do that. I got a smartphone with a camera. I got you. Give me a second. And I started doing that. And I think it's a confidence booster, in my personal opinion, because I know, at least for me, I don't take them unless I feel good about myself in the moment. Like if I'm in a good mood, oh, okay, I'm gonna go take this. Let me go pose in front of my mirror or do something or whatever. Make something interesting looking or maybe do like a different pose or something. And I just kind of go from there, and it makes me feel good about myself when you know others might not feel, or others might not, you know, look at you like you look at yourself. If that makes sense.
Right. No, I feel you. Like for me, like I'm a little bit older than you, and so my first experience with that would probably be we used to do webcam sessions. I know people still do it now, but it's just a lot different now. Like people just get on FaceTime like it's like an everyday thing, like it's nothing. But like we used to get on like Skype or Yahoo Messenger or something like that, and like do these little webcam sessions where like people would meet online. And so like when I got first
I've
got
never
on
done
webcam,
those.
You never done that? See, those are
Well, I
actually
mean, I
pretty
did a thing like, what's
cool.
it called, like Omegle or whatever it was called. I did that. It was like a chat room roulette kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I did that, but I didn't do it often. It was like 3 or 4 times maybe. That felt awkward.
Yeah, it's like I use that like chat buddies and stuff. I used to do it with like that was for me. Like I don't look down upon it. I don't look down upon any of it because from my standpoint, it's like safe sex, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you still get to interact with
True.
people, and especially like when you're younger, it's almost better to like learn through the internet instead of like learning in person. I mean, there's
And then
value
making a
in both,
mistake. Right.
but yeah, the consequences of messing up in person is just more
Mm-hmm.
than, you know, meeting the wrong
Mm-hmm.
person over the internet.
Right.
Um,
And I know a lot of times when you are young, you're trying to figure it out. A lot of people who are older might, lie to you or take advantage of you, and it kind of hinders your growing or learning process in it, exploring
yeah,
process. So yeah, I agree. I'd never thought about it like in like you said, quote unquote, safe sex. It's like safe sex. I've never thought about it that way. And it's true though. You're right. I've never thought about it though.
yeah. Like for me, like I wasn't really out in like high school or I'm not really out right now to be honest with you, but that's just between me and you. But, and so for me, it was like, that was like my escape. I could go home and almost like transform into this other person. I could explore like my curiosity, like sexually and stuff like that. And looking up pictures and videos or just reading comments, or like we used to get on like gay websites and like you kind of feel like part of a community. Like there's other people out there that like some of the same things that you like. So it
Hmm.
was kind of cool in that way. Just kind of like exploring, you know, what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, I know a lot of my exploring, I say, comes from videos, but I also did like the erotica kind of, the readings kind of, what's it called? What can't remember what it's called. Whatever it's called.
Yeah, I know
So
what you
people
mean.
write their stories and you kind of read it and you kind of
Hmm.
fantasize or, live through the main character in the story. And it's like, oh, okay. Like that for me was like one of my outlets. And I liked
Yeah,
reading growing up. So I
yeah,
just, and it kind of helps fuel your imagination. So you can kind of
yeah.
envision it playing out versus watching an actual video. So,
Not only yeah, because when you envision it in your head, it's like so much more in depth and so much more and so much more thought that kind of go into
right.
like the possibilities or whatever that really kind of stimulate it. And then also I tell people too is like the coolest part about reading, especially like reading stories and stuff like that, is that you can learn from other people's experiences by
Hmm.
reading. You
Hmm.
know, watching videos, even watching like movies and stuff. I mean, you can get something from that, but like reading like really stimulates you. And so you can read these stories of other people's experiences and you can kind of like take bits and pieces of it. So like when you in similar experiences, you kind of be like, oh yeah, I kind of read about this before. Like you kind of know what to do.
Right. And you're not just sitting there kind of like lost. Because you can watch the video and it's like, okay, I don't know what you did. I saw what you did. I don't know how you're doing what you're doing. When you read it,
Hmm.
it kind of explains it more. And it's,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Okay, that's not bad.
So what you telling me is that you used to watch gay porn growing up, huh?
I did. I did. I watched it. So, I don't, yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever get
Yeah, I
caught?
did. I want to say once or twice I did.
How you get caught?
Because I didn't know how to clear a browser history.
Oh, that's like one
I
of the
was
first things you got to know.
I was young and naive. I didn't know. I didn't know you could go back and look at. I was like, I want to say I was like 10, 11,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't like big in computers and stuff, so I didn't even
Uh-huh.
know that it was a thing. You're supposed to clear the browser history. And I think one time, the second time I think I got caught, I knew you were supposed to, and I knew how to, but I ran out of time to.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, they were coming, and I was like, okay, let me just log off, get gone, and just go back to my room and sit down. And I didn't get a chance to go back and actually clear it before they got on the computer inside. So,
So how did they
I
react when
mean,
they caught you?
it wasn't that big of a deal, I don't think. it was more so like kind of like a just don't do it again, or they would explain what I saw, maybe. I don't know. I know originally my mom caught me the first time. She thought more so I was just kind of curious about the male anatomy and how things work, and she thought I was comparing my dick size to their dick size, I think, which I
Oh
wasn't.
my.
I was just enjoying what I was watching. That was it. And I said, okay, yeah, mom, you're right. She was talking, and then she started talking about puberty or something. I said, yeah, I'll just wait for puberty, or I'm a growing boy, I'll be okay, whatever. And I kept going and never got caught again. So
You were
it was down.
definitely a little bit more than curious.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I must say this. I think at the time I was more so just curious, but over time I realized that no, this is just what I like.
What's the earliest age that you can remember like liking guys or like looking at a guy differently?
I want to say it this way because that was like around the time we started doing like the intro to like sex videos and all that kind of stuff. I think it was around that time, like in school they would do that, and I think it was around that time I started like, oh, okay, well that's what this is. I know why I think like this. I know why it's causing that to happen, and it just kind of grew from there.
So you started masturbating during that time?
No, not until I don't think I did for the first time until middle school, like 7th or 8th grade. I don't.
How, did you
Yeah,
learn
it's
it
about
like from
7th, 8th grade.
watching like videos or something?
Yes, but I think I just kind of did something. Okay, I knew it was supposed to happen if I did, if I masturbated or whatever. And I think I was trying to achieve I guess, orgasm or get my nut or whatever you want to call it. And I didn't know how long it should take. So I was just going and just doing something and see what happened. And when it happened, I think I still remember my first one. And I was out of breath. I was tired. I went to go lay down. I fell asleep. That was it. I was out.
Were you like
Yeah.
scared or like nervous or anything when it happened?
No, because I knew what was supposed to happen. Like I knew visually what I would end up seeing when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it was experiencing it for myself. It was like, oh, okay, I see what the hype is about. I like this, and yeah. And I'm telling you, I feel like around that same time. I think it was the same. Like after I went to sleep afterwards, I think I had like my first sex dream around that time. I want to say. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but I think it was around that time.
So
Yeah.
how old were you the first time you did something with a guy?
18.
18.
About 3 years ago. Yeah, 18.
How did that come about?
Physically, I was 18. Yeah. I was drunk,
Mm-hmm.
and my friend was drunk, and I knew he was like bi, but he didn't know I was.
How'd
I
you know
had
he was
found him
bi?
on, I think I found him on Jacked or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have my face up, so he didn't know it was me.
Gotcha.
And he didn't have a face up either, but it was his clothes. I had seen him actually wear in person. So I knew who he was, and I was like, oh, cool. But I think it was that night he opened up to me and told me in his drunkenness that he was bi.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, cool. And I said, yeah, me too. And he's like, really? I said, yeah. And then he kissed me, and it just kind of went from there. And then we ended up
Where'd it go
dating for
to?
like 3 months. It just ended with like oral, and that was about it. But then he knocked out. He was drunk, so it was it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in the middle of a party. We were like hosting a party, so I had to go back to the party.
So was y'all like pulled
And
off into a room or something?
yeah, It was like a spare room. Yeah. And he ended up knocking out on the floor in that room.
So all the queens want to know, like, was it big? Was it uncut? Like, what the queens want to know.
It was like, 9 inches and cut
So,
and curved to the left.
so it was pretty big then.
Yeah. And
Are you
eventually,
fantasizing about it right now?
no, because I have no interest in my ex anymore. So no, not at all. like sexual interest. Like we're still friends or whatever, but like I have no. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm not mad that he was my first or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So were you in college when that first time happened?
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yep, I was my freshman year. The spring semester of my freshman year, I think.
So
I think I
do
don't
you
really know.
also date girls as well?
Yep.
So you're
My first one
bisexual?
was my first one was a girl. I was in high school.
You were in high
And I
school?
was and I was dating her. So it was whatever. But yeah. And then
Cool.
I'm trying to think the last time I've had sexual I think it was my ratio is a little skewed. So it's more guys and girls. But,
Mm-hmm.
it I don't have a preference necessarily for either. It just happened to work out it's easier for guys than it is for girls, I guess.
Do you think so? Do you think it's easier to find a guy than it is to find a girl?
At least where I go to school, it is, because a lot of the guys are more like they're more so, I guess, horny. I guess they're ready to go. They're willing to just do it. As
Mm-hmm.
the girls, it's more of like I want to actually get to know you first. I actually want to date you and go from there, which
Mm-hmm.
I respect. But if that's not,
Right.
if I just want a quick nut, I don't want to wait that long. So, and like the girls that are easier, they're typically, have some disease or something. I
Mm-hmm.
think Tallahassee is one of the highest rates for HIV in Florida. It is the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm trying to avoid that. So,
Oh, I can understand that.
yeah.
So when you're with a guy, are you more top or more bottom?
As of recently, it's been more top. Previously, it was more bottom.
What caused the change?
Nothing. I just didn't feel like doing, or I didn't want to go through the process of cleaning myself out or doing whatever. So I said, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna top somebody and just call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what it's been. I just
Which one do
haven't
you
had.
enjoy more?
Now I can't say 'cause I like them for different reasons. Like they're different feelings for me. So like I don't.
So what are the
It
different reasons?
it takes longer for me to nut when I'm bottoming,
Mm-hmm.
but I tend to, I guess, enjoy it. Like the pleasure is a little stronger,
Mm-hmm.
but it still takes longer. Whereas when I'm topping, it still feels wonderful, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not. It doesn't take me as long, I guess. So I don't really know why, but that's just how it works for me. And I've never been in a situation where it was like a kind of like a flip flop kind of situation. I haven't done that. I
Mm-hmm.
want to, but I haven't done it
Mm-hmm.
yet. So I don't know. I
So
really
if
can't
you had
say.
to take a dose of truth serum
Mm-hmm.
when you're topping, like how long do it take you between the time that you put it in and you pull it out and bust?
15? 10, 15?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about 10 to 15 minutes, yeah.
So do you like going like hours and hours and hours?
Not when I'm topping, no. When I'm bottom, sure, but not when I'm topping, no.
Have you ever been in a situation where you were like fucking straight for hours?
Yes. Yeah, but I guess it started off with a lot more foreplay before it actually got to the sex.
I know a lot of people like, if you just act like a random person, they say like, hey, I like to go for hours and hours and hours, but then when it actually happens, they go for like minutes and minutes and minutes.
Right. Right. So for me,
Which
I will say, I like the idea of going for hours and multiple rounds, but realistically, I know I personally can't do that like often. It would be like, maybe once a week I could do that, like physically do that. And even then, I have to just make sure I'm not like, jacking off beforehand, because otherwise it's not going to happen. Look, I just know if it's too good the first nut, I'm done. Like I'm out. And it's happened before. If it's like a really strong, powerful nut, I'm out and I'm done. But if it's like a smaller one, then I can keep going.
right.
But or if it happens, I can wait maybe like 10 minutes and I'm good again. But otherwise, I'm out.
So, you said like you probably could go longer, like if you didn't like jack off. So how often do you jack off now?
Every other day, I want to say. I think
Are you a
whatever the
morning
day.
person or a night person?
I'm a whenever person. It don't matter. I can do midday if I want to. I can leave class. I have actually left class one time and gone to the bathroom and just jacked off and then went back to class. It doesn't happen.
What's some of the weirdest
Yep.
places you've done it at?
Nope, nowhere. Maybe a car. That's probably the weirdest. Well, yeah, it's probably it's probably it. Like while driving on like the interstate.
While driving on the interstate?
Yep.
Did you bust?
Yep.
Nice.
Did anybody see me? Yep. Did I care? Nope.
I've actually been in the car like a couple of times, but one particularly was with my mom and somebody else too, but definitely my mom was in there. And we were riding down the highway, and these two white people were just fucking. They were just going at it in the side seat, and we were just like looking, and people were like honking their horn, and they didn't give a damn. They were going.
I've heard someone I was friends with. He was older, but he was talking about he did it in a car with like the roof down, just going down. He's in California, like just going down the interstate. He was just in his lap while he was driving. I said, okay. And then he said he did it while skydiving, which I don't understand how you do that while skydiving. He's done it in a tree. I don't get that either. But to each their own.
Right.
Like I mean, I wouldn't mind trying it in some different places, but I just haven't done it.
You've been safe.
Okay.
So you've been safe. Safe
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
Yeah,
cool.
for
I
sure.
think probably the difference is like probably if you would have started earlier than 18, then you probably would have done it in a lot of different places because you probably wouldn't have had your own place
for
to
sure.
do that.
For sure. But now that I have my own place, it's just whatever.
Yeah, just like why do it if you already have a place to go?
Right.
I feel it. So are you like a lube person or a dry person?
Depends on what hand I'm using. If I'm doing it with my dominant hand, I just go dry. If I'm doing it with my left, I go lube. Why, I
That's
don't know.
interesting.
But that's just what I ended up doing. But it just
That's
started maybe this semester, like August, that I started doing that. And I just found it really enjoyable, so I just kept doing it. And it's just now a thing I do.
See, for me, it's really just all about time. Like, if I don't have a lot of time and I just want to like get one real fast, then I'll just go dry.
Right.
But if I have more time, I would go lube because lube it takes more time with lube
Right.
for me.
And there's more pleasure, I think, behind. Like, it's more, I
Yeah.
guess it increases the sensitivity of it.
Like, are you out to like your family, your friends, or anything?
Just my friends.
Just your friends?
I'm sure my parents or family might assume, but I haven't physically said it to them. I don't know. Maybe my brother can hear me. He might be able to hear me in the other room. I don't know. He might be able to hear me. And if he can, oh well, there it is.
I don't think
But
you're talking that
my
loud.
brother's pretty cool. My brother's pretty cool though. So I don't think he would
Oh.
care too much. I don't think.
How
I
much
don't know. He
older
might.
or younger is your brother?
He is 2 years older. Well,
He's 2 years
not even
older.
two. Not even 2 full years. It's like a year, 361 days.
Right.
Our
Y'all
birthdays are like 4
are,
days apart.
I forgot what they call them, but it's like something twin, where like when you have like a brother or sister born in the same calendar year. Not to say that y'all are, but that happens
Uh,
with players on.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called. I think I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
I think.
No, that's cool. I don't have any like close siblings like that, especially like brothers or anything. I have like some cousins that were like around my age, but
Mm-hmm.
not any brothers. So like
Yeah.
for me, like growing up as an only child, or I say I wasn't the only child, but I was the only person who lived in my house, and so
Mm-hmm.
you kind of get treated like an only child, so you kind of get used to like having your own space and stuff. So it's a little bit easier to do stuff. And when like you're in a big gigantic family and you got brothers and sisters everywhere.
And you gotta kind of sneak around with it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cause like a lot of people,
And,
they got used to like doing it in like their bathroom and stuff.
mm-hmm.
Like I've never really been a bathroom tracker. Like I've been more
I
of a
think when I
bedroom.
first started off, I was, but I basically
Hmm.
stopped caring, and I was just in my bed or wherever else. So I think I have. I've done it on the pool table.
On the pool table.
Uh huh.
Nice.
It was. I don't know why. I was home alone. I don't know why I did it, but I did. It hurt because pool tables aren't very soft, so it hurt. But I got it done.
No, what happened? So,
Hmm.
really random question. I wasn't gonna ask you this, but it just popped in my head. So,
Hmm.
we talked about like masturbation or whatever. Like, have you ever done
Hmm.
any like anal stimulation? Like, stuck anything
Hmm.
weird up there?
Oh, when I was younger, when I was first exploring the whole sexuality thing, and I heard
Mm-hmm.
about the prostate, I was like, oh, okay, how does that work? So I had a lint roller.
Mm-hmm.
I used a handle, and I just stuck it up there. And yeah, now I have I have a dildo. Yeah, I have a dildo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use it too often, but I have it so whenever I want to.
Right.
I have a flashlight that I
Mm-hmm.
use,
Tell me
but
about Tell me about your experience the first time you used the flashlight.
it was intense. I think at that time I still hadn't had sex yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, I hadn't. So it was intense. That's the only word I can
Explain
find
intense.
for it. I don't even know how you can explain it. It was, I mean, if you can imagine just your first time having sex with anybody, it's kind of like that. But I mean, it's more so an extension of just masturbation. So
Mm-hmm.
it kind of brought me back to like the first time I ever jacked off. And it was kind of reminiscent of that, but a little stronger than that. So I still remember that too, my first time I ever used flashlight.
So was it like, did it take you a long time or like,
Surprisingly, yes. But I think what it was me finding the balance of how much lube to use, and how
mm-hmm.
I guess, wet, I preferred it. I think that took longer. Cause I didn't put enough at first, and then I put too much, so it ended up taking longer because I put too much, and then
Right.
yeah. So
No,
yeah,
the reason
I
why I
recommend
stopped
getting
you
one
next
if
day.
people want one.
No, the reason why I stopped you is because the word intense, like the first time you use a flashlight, is actually the most perfect word you can use. And so I
Right.
remember my experience the first time I used one. That's the reason why I stopped and asked you what yours was, because you're right. Like you wouldn't expect that. It's
Right.
not expected. I mean, you're like, oh my.
And so I was like, oh, this is, I can do this. Like, I'm gonna keep this, and it's gotten to the point. Well, at least when I first got it, it was like I would use it like maybe twice a day instead of jacking off. I would use the flashlight
hmm
because I just enjoyed it that much.
Right.
Now I don't use it all that often because been there, done that.
Right.
I
Okay.
know. I think last year I got one that kind of vibrated, and that added another level to it, and we started the whole, vigor for using a flashlight.
hmm
So
So
the
you like
vibrating
toys,
one
huh?
was. I found out I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have recently discovered that I really do because I didn't get my dildo till recently, like maybe last year. That's
hmm
relatively recently. So, and even then I didn't use it like that. I don't think I used it for the first time until maybe January, February of this past year, or January, February of this year.
hmm
So, and from there it just kind of was like, oh, okay. And then at one point I combined both the dildo and the vibrating flashlight, and
hmm
that was, whew, I can't do it often because of how much it drains me. Like it's
hmm
just I save it for special occasions when I'm really, really horny or stuff like that. I can't do it often.
hmm
I would like to, but I know physically I wouldn't be able to do it.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
and I think actually using the dildo was the first time I figured out that I actually get wet. Like I
hmm
didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that it happened. I was like, what's going on? Like, why am I? What is this?
hmm
But it's a thing. I
Oh,
guess it's
that's
good though.
cool.
You learn to control it. I guess.
I was thinking back on like some of the stuff we talked about, and we were talking about like how there was like a demand for people to like make like content, like making
Mhm.
videos, take pictures, do blogs, and you were talking about like reading stories and stuff like that, and or even just have like discussions about different like topics and stuff, and how you could go online and like different web forums and stuff like that. And I know
Mhm.
we're working on a project called the New Blog, which kind of encompasses a lot of those things. And really, what it's going to be is like a creative platform for people to come and like record skits or post videos or talk about topics or situations or experiences or write stories or books and podcasts and videos and stuff just about like topics that we all run into, and just how important it is to like have a creative outlet where not only can you use your creativity, you know, really just for entertainment, but also for knowledge purposes too. Like people can learn
Mhm.
from reading those stories and your experiences or hearing about the things that you go through, because I know for me just growing up, and I wasn't necessarily like out, like people didn't really know about me, and I don't really come across as like a gay person almost in any
Right.
way. And so like it was harder for me to like relate to what at the time was like stereotypical gay people, which
Right.
were
Yeah.
like be feminine or they wore certain clothes and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, that's
Mhm.
not me. So like, how do I fit into this? And so it's kind of cool to have like a platform that we're working on where you can hear a variety of different voices, from super feminine to super masculine, tall,
And
short,
all the way in
black, white,
between. Yep. Mhm.
all the way between. And really like when you start like listening and reading, people's stories or experiences, you'll really find like a common thread. Like there's a lot of people out there who either feel the same way that you do or have experienced a lot of the same things that you've gone through. Mm-hmm. And so it's not to say that like your experiences aren't unique, but it also is to say that like you're not the only person going through this, and that there's other people out there who've been through it already.
Right, especially when you get into parts where you're like struggling with stuff. Like there's other people who have gone through it. You can ask for advice. What did you do? What shouldn't I do? Like and for me, the idea of it is, it's like this is an opportunity for people who are older or more experienced to help those who are lost or confused and they're inexperienced or just younger. It helps them to grow and maybe skip over like the bad parts of your sexuality or the negative aspects of people around you and situations, which is kind of, if you really think about it, like a mentor, like an older brother, older sister kind of vibe to it. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people need it, believe it or not. Because I know some people deny, like, oh no, I'm good, I got it. I got through my struggle by myself, whatever. I can say that for certain things, but I wouldn't want people to go through some of the things I went through, because it's like hell. And you don't want to experience that. So I would prefer, if someone would have told me, oh, maybe don't do this way, do it a little different. Explore a little more, or question things a little more, question people a little more, to make sure you are good and protect yourself first and care for yourself first before you try to do too much. Yeah.
And I'm really big on like learning from other people's experiences. Like I shouldn't have to put my hand in the fire to know it's hot. If I watch my brother or my cousin stick their hand in the fire, they went through the pain. I don't have to go through it no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so if I could read a book or like learn something from somebody else's experiences, that prevents me from having to repeat the same mistake that they possibly have made.
Yep, I agree.
So,
and I honestly think it helps people grow faster and a little stronger when you've gotten to the point where you can learn from other people's mistakes. It helps you to know, okay, well, in situations that are similar, it helps you to figure out what to do. Even if it's not the exact same, it gives you some kind of guidance as to what to do and what not to do. So.
Right. Good stuff. No, I appreciate the conversation today and your openness and candor. Of course, the website we were talking about is the new blog, and that's something that is out there for anybody who's listening to this or, want to participate. You have like different levels, so you can come on the site and you can just browse, or you can just lurk and just, read or and, watch videos and pictures and stuff like that. And you can also be a content creator, and you can get on there and you can be a part of these game shows or talk shows or podcasts or different things. And it doesn't matter if you're out or you want to be like the face of it, or if you want to be like more behind the scenes or more of like a DL type situation. There's outlets for you. Obviously, if you're not comfortable putting your face on it, I wouldn't be on the video. That wouldn't be a choice for you, but you can definitely like write and do other things too. So there's going to be different roles for like different people, so that way everybody can participate and feel like they're a part of it.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the options, in my opinion, because I think giving people options helps to, induce, participation. Helps people get excited and help people who want to be involved, because they're like, okay, well, I don't have to put myself out there like that. I can just edit something or proofread something or stuff like that. And I think it helps people get involved. And with that, it builds confidence, and people will start wanting to do more with themselves and grow within themselves. It's a good opportunity, in my personal opinion.
Absolutely. You're right. And like the success breeds success. And so the more you're out there, you're participating in something, and, you can kind of see the impact it has on other people. It's going to make you internally feel good too, while also having impact on other people. So it definitely is a win-win. So anybody out there who want to participate, you can definitely go to the website. It's thenewblog.com/apply. You can apply to be a content creator. You can be on the show just like here. We give you a shot. Our job is to promote you, trying to get you more followers, while also allowing you to create cool content for our readers as well. So, definitely nice talking to you, sir. It was a great conversation.
For appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the TNB Fans Only Show. Share your experience, give your opinion, allow your voice to be heard. If you want to be on the podcast or become a content creator, visit thenudeblog.com/apply.